I'm not absolutely 100% sure, or at least this morning, I wasn't for sure if I could remember how to do camera tracking in Blender. I think it's been about 2 years since I've done a camera track scene. Maybe 18 months. I think it was about 18 months. I think it was about spring 2019 was the last time I did anything. But just to make sure I still could remember how to do it, I went ahead and set up this scene. I think I got like 13 markers or something on this little camera track scene, and I have a solve error of 2.18 pixels. I'm not 100% sure how good that is because I think that changed the way they measure that since the last time I've done it. Because the last time I did, I think I used Blender 2.79, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think it was measured in pixels. I think it was measured in percent. And I think the idea was to get it less than 1%. But I may be misremembering. But this is 2.8 pixels on a 4K video. So that seems pretty accurate to me, or at least it seems like it's accurate. But I could be mistaken. Like I said, it's been a long time since I messed with camera tracking. And of course, I kind of messed up this box up here. It originally was showing the tracking information, the keyframes and stuff for this, but I ended up changing it by accident. Now I don't know how to change it back. It's I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. Maybe if I selected all the tracking markers, it would show up, but no, I don't know. Maybe someone knows what I'm doing wrong over here and why it doesn't look right, because it should be showing the information for the individual markers, but for some reason now it's showing uh, the actual cube. So I changed something over here. I don't know what I changed. But anyway, it seems to be tracking correctly. And it's rendering right now. Of course, I'm rendering it in Blender 3.0 because it renders so much faster. Even though this is a very simple scene. But the bulk of the time it takes to actually render is kind of being spent, setting up the scene and so forth, because camera tracking has multiple layers and so forth. I mean, you have your object layer, which is this one, then you have your shadow catcher layer, and then all of that's composited onto the video frame. So it kind of it's kind of like a 3-step process. But, I'm going to try to get myself more familiar with this and then probably put out a motion tracking or camera tracking tutorial probably sometime in the near future. I'm not 100% sure when that would be because I want to make sure I'm comfortable enough with it where I can explain it in such a way where beginners can understand it, because like I've said many times before in the past, I'm not that smart. So whenever I try to explain things, I try to explain things in such a verbose way that even someone like me can understand it. Whenever I overly explain things, it's not because I think people who watch my videos are kind of slow. It's because I'm slow. I try to explain it for myself. But here's where I'm at so far with this scene. I'm up to frame 247 of 600 and something. Let me go back to the beginning here, and we'll see what this looks like so far. Of course, like I said, it's a very simple scene. Nothing special about it. I just wanted to see if I could still remember how to do it. It looks a little off. The shadow is a little sharp. I think this shadow right here should have been a little bit softer. And I'm not real fond of this material right here. It's kind of too reflective and it has problems. because I don't have an HDRI of this environment, which, you know, you should if you're going to have proper reflections onto any reflective object that's composited into the scene. But I kind of cheated a little bit. I took this image that makes up that came from the camera, and I'm using that as the world image. So the lighting is kind of close, except it's just distorted. And another thing right here, I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this. All the frames are coming out kind of like that. Obviously, that's some kind of distortion correction or lens distortion correction, but I'm not sure where that setting is and how to change it. That's one of the things I'm going to have to mess with to try to understand it better before I actually make a tutorial about it. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. This is just one of those mini oddities about Blender that I don't mess with that much, but it's nice to make sure you do it enough to remember what you're doing. But anyway, I guess that's it. Later, people.